Welcome to Rossen Reports Live. I'm Jeff Rossen. Let's save you some money today, and we are getting nitty-gritty on these disgusting, nasty, hidden junk fees that you probably see at restaurants, hotels, airlines, resorts, on your cell phone bill, credit cards. It goes on and on. Some of it is fully illegal, but yet we've caught retailers and companies still doing it, and we're going to tell you how to spot it and how to fight back. But then in other cases, it is still legal, right? Where they're allowed to slip it past you, and we're going to tell you about those too. And you're going to hear from some angry people who have the receipts, literally, who have gone online and have fought back. And we're going to show you what they have to say and what you can learn from them. And we're going to do this all together. Plus, we have an amazing travel expert on who's going to tell us all about how you can fight back and what you can do on your vacation to cut these fees way down, which, by the way, can go up to like 10% in some cases, even higher, on your entire bill at the end. And you don't realize it until you're home. Outrageous. We're going to get into all that and save you some real money. Plus, do you have a real ID yet? We've been talking about this for months. If you don't, you now will have to pay to fly, and you may even have to pay twice. We're going to get into that as well. Plus, the real estate market. We've been talking about mortgage rates. They remain high. When will they finally really go down? The issue is a lot of people aren't selling their houses. This is the reason prices are so high. People aren't selling their houses because interest rates are high, and maybe they got their house and they're sitting in a 2 or 3% interest rate, and they're like, yeah, I want to upgrade my home, but I'm not going to go sell my house and move into another one and have to get a 6% interest rate or even higher. I'm just going to stay put. And because of that, not enough homes on the market, and because of that, the ones that are exorbitantly priced. But now there may be 2 new mortgage options coming to market that allow you to take your low mortgage with you to your new house. And if you're that's for sellers. If you're buying a house, you may be able to take your mortgage with you and move into a new house with that. So we're going to get into that with an amazing real estate expert who can run down how this could actually change the game in real estate and save you tens of thousands of dollars. So we have a lot. Oh, of course, we have our live product test. Today we are doing this. This is what it's called. Here, I'm reading it. It's the Snap and Strain. We have the video going. So this is supposed to replace a strainer, right? Look, I feel like I have a kitchen in my office here. So it replaces the strainer. You put it on the side. Supposedly you turn it over, and all of a sudden, boom. Look at that. Look how easy that is. And the pasta supposedly stays because of this little flap right over here. So hold on, I'm going to show you. Just before we came on, I have boiled pasta. Can you see it in there? Wait, hold on. Take camera 3 here, Sam. Can you see the pasta in there? There's pasta in there. We're going to see if this Snap and Strain actually works in just a moment. So stand by for that. As you know, I buy it before you try it. We really appreciate you being here today. Do me a favor if you could, and this really helps all of us. If you could hit like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Hit the little heart or the little thumbs up on this video. It sends YouTube and Facebook, it sends the algorithm a message. We like this. Send it to more people. So it really, really helps. We're building up this community to save as many of you money as we possibly can. And by you hitting like, it really, really helps. And by you hitting subscribe, you'll never miss our money-saving alerts. Even when the show is done, I'm on there talking about scam alerts that happen in real time, rip-offs, deal alerts, anything that comes up, we let you know about. And you got FOMO. You don't want to miss any of that. Plus, join the chat. We got an active chat. We want you to say hi. Good morning, Marilyn. We'll put your stuff up on the screen and let us know where you're watching from. And also, join and tell us what experiences you have with what we're talking about. We're talking about hidden fees today. Tell us about what disgusting hidden fees you've come across, because we're all helping each other. Good morning, Vivian. We're all helping each other. And when you share your stories here on screen with us in the chat, it really helps everybody else. So join along. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Sharon, thank you. You love my reports. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get right into the hidden fees, because this is going to be a ride. We're going on a journey, folks. In fact, let me have a sip of my coffee here. Oh, one quick thing. Here's a little tip before we get started. My daughter came home from college, and she gave me the best tip. She came in with this one day, and I'm like, oh my God, did you go to Starbucks? She's like, no, I bought these really cheap like cups. I think she got them at Costco. And she goes, and I got the lids and I get a little straw and it makes me feel like I was at Starbucks. But she buys she has the iced coffee she got at the grocery store or whatever. And I will be honest, I've started doing it ever since, and I walk around and it feels like I've been to Starbucks. You know, things feel different when you got it from like Starbucks versus if you just made iced coffee at home. It actually, it does work. Like you can trick your brain. And I feel very bougie. So there's a little tip for you. All right, now into the hidden fees. We save you money left and right. I just can't help myself. And I want to start talking about all the different kinds of hidden fees there are. In fact, we have some headlines recently. Even SeaWorld just got accused of this, using a bait and switch tactic. Hidden holiday fees this year. Shoppers are going to be hit with several hidden fees at Christmas. Even Colorado for renters fees. There was just a big news article there. They reached a settlement over junk fees. This is happening in every aspect of your life, and it's absolutely disgusting. We have a lot to get to, from restaurants to concerts to travel to credit card to cell phone, and you're going to hear and see some crazy stories. As they say, we brought the receipts. And I want to start with restaurants, because restaurants are getting more and more brazen in what they do. And wait until you see some of these ridiculous surcharges. Check out this receipt we found online. Somebody posted this, and it said this in very small print. We've blown it up for you a little bit at the bottom of the bill, and I'm going to read it. As a way to offset rising costs associated with the restaurant, food, beverage, labor benefits, supplies, we have added a 3% surcharge to all checks. We do this in lieu of increased menu prices. You may request to have this removed from your check, should you choose. So that's interesting. You can request to have it removed. And by the way, at the end of the meal, it's like in tiny print at the bottom. They're over there with the machine, pressuring you to give them a good tip. And you're supposed to say, hey, by the way, can you remove this surcharge? They put you in an awkward position. And by the way, they're saying they're doing it in lieu of increased menu prices. What's the difference? At least in that case, I would know what the hell I'm getting. In this case, it's stuffed in at the end and you don't even realize what's going on. And it gets even crazier. These customers got really screwed and they went online to fight back. Roll clip 1.
Some businesses are getting pretty sneaky about adding these extra fees and charges to the end of your bill. So people are sharing some bizarre charges they found on their receipts on this mildly infuriating Reddit page. Like this person who got a 10% employee health charge at the end of their bill. That came to $13.70. And that's not even tip. There's a suggested tip at the bottom that starts at 18%. The user wrote, just raise the prices on the menu. I don't want to have surprise increases at the end of the meal. Also, what is a crusty avocado and why is it $8? This person was charged a 50-cent credit card fee even though they paid cash. Charging a credit card fee isn't illegal in Virginia, but I bet when you're paying cash it is. This person was charged a mandatory 20% service charge, where a large portion goes to the team. Excuse me, sir, can you tell me where the rest of my money is going?
Our restaurant bill had a 4% charge for health insurance or staff wellness. And I've been seeing this on the receipts of restaurants all over San Diego. They're allowed to put it on there, but you can't be forced to pay it. If you ask them to take it off, they have to remove it. I've also seen some places put a $2 water donation fee if you drink water. There's a new California law, SB 478, that's supposed to go into effect July 1st. That's supposed to block these junk fees. Basically saying they're not allowed to advertise a lower fee and then tack off junk fees that you didn't know or expect, except for government taxes and government fees. So to me, that sounds like they're going to have to embed it into the price of food, and they won't be able to put these health care wellness 4% surcharges on our bills anymore. But have you seen that in other states besides California? The big thing is you don't have to pay that surcharge, that 4%. It says, it's supposed to say on the bottom of your receipt, please ask the server for this to be removed if you do not want to pay. But that's putting the customer in a really awkward place. It's already awkward enough that they make you fill out the tip thing in front of the server as they pass you the touchscreen swiper, and they're just waiting and looking at you saying, I hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
Anyway, if we go into a restaurant and know that we're going to have to pay 20% for tip, 4% for a surcharge, we basically have to look at the price of a meal and say, okay, I have to add 25% on top of that. And taxes.
All right, Vegas, here we go again. These hidden fees, I'm telling you. So if you haven't seen my last video, check it out. But this is proof right here. I literally got receipts. So this tourist right here comes to Vegas, goes to Hell's Kitchen, has a summer sampler right up there for $80. He gets his tax, 6 something, a tip already charged to him for almost $15, and then his total. And then they have the audacity to put down here, gratuity not included.
Here's your
options for the tip. So who keeps this? The restaurant?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is getting out of hand, these hidden fees, and it's making our tourists lose faith in the business that we're running here in Vegas.
You know what the worst thing is after a wonderful night is when you get charged a kitchen fee, 4%
a kitchen
fee. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Here we go again. Question. So this happened again here in California in Santa Monica.
Yeah, so you see this is happening everywhere, a kitchen fee, and it is weird. Like that guy was talking about, it's basically a gratuity fee. There's a gratuity, and then they want you to, gratuity's not included. So where is that money going? Where is the kitchen fee going? They don't tell you. So what can you do? You can fight back. These fees can be taken off by managers. You just have to know how to ask and what to do. There's a lawyer we found. This guy, I follow this guy all the time. He's got great advice about how you can fight back on these restaurant fees. Roll clip 2.
I want you to know that many restaurants across the U.S. are adding a junk fee to your bill. So if you check your bill, you'll see it. It's listed separately. It most commonly appears as a surcharge fee. And it's 3 to 4% of the entire bill. So that's a lot. And I want you to know that it's a junk fee. So if you ask to have it removed, then they'll do it for you. And they have to, because it's a phony fee. It's fictitious.
That's right.
It's literally for nothing. So I'm surprised that it's not illegal, but they do it. So I want to give you an example. I'm from Chicago. If you go to a restaurant in Chicago, so look at the bill, it's going to say surcharge fee, and it's going to be an additional 3% to 3.99% of the entire bill. So they can do whatever they want. It's like the wild, wild west. So this is an extra 3 to 4% for literally nothing. So in my opinion, that is crazy. And you are allowed to remove it. I personally always remove the surcharge.
Yeah, you can remove it. You have to tell them, I want this removed. It is a junk fee. So just make sure to check your bills to make sure you're only paying what you want to pay. And you should call the manager over. You can get it removed. It may be illegal. Even if it isn't, they should remove it. Let's talk now about shipping fees. FedEx, UPS, even the U.S. Postal Service, you'll sometimes see at the bottom when you're shipping something, a crazy fee that pops up. I actually shipped something the other day and it happened to me. They quoted me something. I actually decided to go with FedEx because they had a better price than UPS. And boom, at the end, it was higher. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And it turns out there were some fees, I actually forget what they were, at the bottom of the receipt. So you have to check. Watch what happened to this one woman who literally just bought something and got it shipped like anybody else would, and then the bill she got from FedEx after the thing already arrived for more than the price of the thing she shipped that she says she was never told about. Here, roll that, clip 3. This is nuts.
I ordered a $99 item from Hong Kong, then FedEx demanded $180 more for months. Here's what happened. If you've been following along, you know that back in May, I ordered a clothing item for my daughter for her birthday. It cost $99, and then a few weeks later, I received a $180 bill from FedEx. I know some of you asked in the comments, did I ever pay the bill? What happened? But I was kind of waiting it out because I wasn't going to pay it until I received a response from FedEx. Also, I was keeping my eyes open for if there was going to be a class action or something like that, because it struck me that this was completely unfair. For all the reasons we talked about in the former videos, that to buy something and then receive an unexpected bill in the mail that was twice the cost without any notice of this during the original purchase is completely unjust and unfair and against consumer protections. So then today I received an email this morning which said, "Dear valued FedEx customer, thank you for contacting FedEx Duty Tax Disputes. Invoice blank was canceled and billed to shipper." That's it. So thanks FedEx for canceling that $180 bill that I probably never should have gotten, but I have to wonder how many other consumers just paid these bills thinking that they were going to be sent to collections with these final demand notices if they didn't pay them.
Yeah, it's really scary. They scare the hell out of you. They kept sending her final demand letters. And if you, A, don't catch it, or B, don't pay it, you're afraid. But if you fight back like she did and stand your ground, you can often win. By the way, some other common shipping, and we have them on the screen here, some other common shipping fees. The residential surcharge, they'll actually charge you more to ship to a residence versus a business. The fuel carrier fee, so they'll charge you the fuel fee. I mean, isn't that built into the price? Isn't that why it costs so much freaking money to ship things? Shouldn't that be built in? No, you have to pay that on top of it. Customs and duties, which is a little of what she had to deal with. Pre-selected add-ons, that's automatic charges for rush processing or gift wrapping, and then of course return shipping as well. So how do you fight back? Very, very simple. And I learned this the hard way when I told you my story. When you're there, ask to look at the screen and say, hey, or do this online. If you're in person, ask to see the screen and say, what's the final bill? Because they're going to quote you a price and you're going to say, oh, that sounds good. And then ask for what it actually costs, because they have a way of doing that. Or online, get all the way to checkout and make sure to reach each line item, which a lot of us don't do. We race through it and then actually compare it with the competitors. If you're doing FedEx, compare it to UPS, compare it to USPS, compare it to DHL or others, and make sure that you're getting to that final screen that has those hidden fees on it. That's the way that you can fight back. This next one, though, is really going to piss you off. The banks. We love to hate the banks because we feel like we're getting robbed from them just to hold our money. And when you see this, you're going to go crazy. In 2024, guess how much the banks made from hidden fees? $5 billion. $5 billion. And here is a breakdown of just some of what they made. JP Morgan Chase alone, just on fees, made over $1 billion. Wells Fargo, $1 billion. Truist, $266 million. You can see PNC Bank, $260 million. TD Bank, $229 million. Regions Bank, Bank of America, $148 million. Huntington National, $111 million. Fifth Third Bank, which is actually a pretty small bank, even they made $108 million in just fees. Absolutely insane. And how do they do this? A number of ways. But one of the trickiest things they do is the overdraft fee. And they can actually take your purchases and change the order of them to make it like you've overdraft, even though you didn't. If you actually did everything in the right order and you're like, I knew I had $100 in there, but then I spent money. They can do fuzzy math and charge you anyway. Watch this clip, clip number 4. This is nuts, crazy.
Because let's say that what happens, there's something called transaction reordering that we want to talk about. So you wake up this morning, you have $100 left in your checking account. And you say, hey, I'm going to go out and buy my morning latte. Then I'm going to go get groceries for $70. And then I'm going to put gas in the tank. You're getting paid tomorrow. You're not concerned. But you forgot that your gym membership hits today, and that's $50. So boom, you've gone overdraft. Now, typically, that's a one-time fee of $35. But what can happen is the bank can actually change the order from chronological to largest to smallest on your transactions. So now what's going to happen is it's going to say, first you bought groceries, then the gym, then the gas, then morning latte. And now you've got 3 overdraft charges in a single day.
Wow.
I know what your question
is. That is tricky, nasty business.
And technically, under federal law, it is legal.
Now, in 2023, banks made almost $6 billion from overdraft fees, and that's not an accident. Here's a comment from someone who watched my last video about America's banks. Quote, when I was in college, back over a decade ago, I was very tight on money. And one time, I got to single digits in my bank account. Bank of America charged me a maintenance fee because I didn't have a large enough balance in the bank and put my bank account into the negative. Then they charged me an even larger negative bank fee that was pretty significant at the time for me as a working part-time college student.
Yeah.
It literally costs money to not have money in this country.
I mean, can you believe it? I never understood the low balance fee. How does it cost the bank anything if you fall below $100 or whatever manufactured number they make up? And how about the fact, what did she call it? Something reordering? They just give it a fancy name to screwing you, and it's completely unfair and arbitrary, so they can charge you more and more fees. So at the bank, make sure when you're opening checking accounts to ask, because there are a lot of checking accounts and a lot of different banks, like USAA, but also I'm with a bank that you can get into a program where you have overdraft protections and all that. make sure to ask before you open the account, what are the fees here? It's something you need to make sure of. You should call your bank right now to make sure, because sometimes you may not even notice. They make these fees like, oh, $10, $12. You may not even notice in your monthly statement, but that's why you should know ahead of time. It's really sneaky and really disgusting. But the banks are actually rivaled in disgustingness with the cell phone companies, because they are sneaking in fees to you all the time, including AT&T getting blasted online right now because they keep adding in, according to many people online who are fighting back and taking it right to AT&T for this thing called Turbo that they never asked for. Check this out.
Let's chat. I want to bring you some awareness on your cell phone bill that's probably going to save you some money. In this economy, every dollar counts, or in this case, 7. So I was paying my cell phone bill and I noticed that it went up like $42. I had no clue why, so I did some digging. So my carrier, AT&T, decided to come out with Turbo. Great, thanks. More speed, why not? Awesome, right?
Sure.
Well, didn't know that it was attached with a $7 monthly fee per line.
We're stupid.
Excuse me,
Didn't
what?
ask for it.
I don't recall ever getting notifications of this. If it's on the bill, more than likely I didn't see it because I don't read my bill. I just pay the bill. Hello, like everyone does.
Like most of us.
So make sure you check your phone bills to see if you're getting charged too, because it's going to save you some money. You got to go on and you got to cancel it. So let me know if you need help learning how to do that too, because I figured that out today as well. I'll be calling AT&T in the morning. Have a good night.
If you guys have AT&T, you might want to check your bills right now because tons of people are being overcharged. I just got done spending an entire hour on the phone, over an hour, trying to fix our bill. They charged us nearly $200 more. And after combing through my bill, I found out that they have been charging me for nearly over 2 years for some Turbo internet stuff that I was told when I went into the store years ago. I was told for being a loyal customer, it was a free feature for 2 of the phones. Come to find out, they have been charging me for all these years. And whenever I spoke to a manager, well, the supervisor, because the manager said she could only go back 3 months. And then the supervisor told me that, no, I cannot be refunded because I was in the store and verbally accepted, which is bullcrap because there should be some sort of paper trail of me signing, agreeing to pay more money every single month. We were upgrading my daughter's bill at the time. So I was already expecting the bill to go up because of her phone. I should have looked more closely because they put on those extra fees and we never did. And only now, because they overcharged us 1 month, now I look into it and find that it's on there and they can't even refund me. This is bullcrap. For being a loyal customer for over 10 years, we are like this close to switching. This is awful customer support. I'm sorry.
I love that she says bullcrap, by the way. She's so nice even when she's angry. She won't say bullshit. She just bullcrap. My gosh, I'm angry. By the way, it's also happening at T-Mobile, Verizon. Everyone's been accused of this. AT&T is just the latest. It's absolutely insane. And it continues when you go to a concert. When you go out for entertainment or to a sports arena, they're doing it too. Do you ever have one of these where you try to buy tickets on Ticketmaster to something and you can't get tickets because it's sold out? We've all heard these stories. Brokers grab up all the tickets. They're not supposed to be able to anymore, but they grab up all the tickets. You try to buy it, and then you have to go to a secondary, seller like a StubHub or a SeatGeek to get the tickets. Turns out they have been putting on hidden junk fees, and they've gotten in trouble for it. But guess what? They've kept doing it and they keep getting in trouble. So this is something that I wanted to issue a warning on right now. There was a great investigation done by KSL, a local TV station out of Salt Lake City, that found this still happening even though it's banned. Roll clip 6.
Fans often find themselves pushed to ticket resale websites where prices have soared. That is no accident, says Tom Galvin.
They've enabled a group of insiders to work the system and hold tickets at ransom.
Galvin is the executive director of Digital Citizens Alliance, which recently investigated the issue and determined that fans are often paying hundreds to thousands of dollars more on digital secondary markets. In some cases, their investigation found that brokers were selling tickets well before many fans could actually click buy.
They're harvesting tickets, creating scarcity, charging an exorbitant amount of money, and then the platforms charge very significant service fees.
Now, this is not a new issue or fight, and
Service
lawmakers
fees.
have been on it. The Federal Trade Commission now requires all platforms to show total prices up front, no more hidden fees, and they are cracking down on bots that buy up tickets in bulk. In fact, StubHub was recently warned for violating the new junk fees rule. Meanwhile, Congress is advancing a bipartisan ticket act, which would stop people from selling tickets that they do not yet actually have.
Cuts this one back. Luna scores again.
The KSL investigators reached out to two of the larger online ticket resellers. StubHub defends the practice, writing nearly 40% of concert tickets sold for under $50. The higher prices, those are often tickets that never sell. And SeatGeek writes that they use tech to combat bots and they support transparent pricing. More than half of resale tickets last year were listed below face value, they say. Still, advocates say that the market favors profits over people.
So in the end, the brokers win, the platforms win, and the loser is the fan who wants to go see a concert.
Yeah, and also, what's with those statements? Most of our tickets sell for... What does it have anything to do with the price of the ticket? I don't care if I'm spending $1. Why are you charging me a service fee? It didn't address that. So, and then another common one they do is the transfer fee. When you try to transfer a ticket from one platform to another, here's a transfer fee. I mean, we're online all day doing Google searches and transferring things and downloading files. We're not charged a fee every time. Why are we getting charged a transfer fee? Using something in their app. It's nuts. And by the way, this also goes for renters. We're getting to travel in just a moment too, because that's really crazy. And wait until you hear about these credit card fees. But rental fees are also out of control. I just wanted to touch on this very quickly. Airbnb, out of control. VRBO, the fees are out of control. But also when you're even just renting an apartment, there are fees that are tacked on at the end. There are trash fees they didn't maybe tell you about, processing fees, convenience fees, right? But a bunch of states have banned it, and I want to call that up on the screen right now. I can name some of them, but the ones in orange, these junk fees for renters have been banned. So if you live in any one of these states and you're renting, I want you to check your rental bill. Maybe you have an HOA, check that as well to make sure there are no fees on there, because they have been deemed illegal in all of those states. And there are, I believe, 19 of them. So that's pretty crazy. And before we get to travel, I want to talk about credit card fees. This is a big one. So, and I see in some of the comments that you've been commenting on this and it happens to you. And by the way, keep the chat going. Let us know what you've experienced with hidden fees. We really want to hear about it because it really helps our community out, our community of you and me. Because when you write it, it kind of triggers something in us to check the bills on our own life. So please join the chat and keep that going. With credit cards, retailers and stores are allowed to charge you a surcharge, because when you use your Amex or your Discover or your Visa or your MasterCard, the retailer or the store, the gas station, they are charged a fee from the credit card company to do the transaction. They pass that along to you. I think it's stupid and ridiculous. That's a whole business model we can do a whole nother show on, but it is legal. It is legit. The store, the gas station is being charged by the credit card company, so they're passing it on to you. But they are not allowed to do that with debit cards. Debit cards are considered cash. It's not a credit card. It's a debit card. But it turns out a lot of places are slipping this by you to make more money. It's either incompetence or it's part of the business model, trying to get more money out of us and literally rob us and take money right out of our pockets. Either way, we lose unless we are on top of it. And there are a band of people out there who this is happening to every day, who are going online and they are fighting back. And I just wanted to show you some of this because I promise you, if you go out today and use your debit card, watch what happens. I bet you're being screwed too. Roll clip 7.
I went to 3 places today that charged me a fee for using my debit card. And look, I live in the state of Indiana. This is illegal. They do not get a fee for using a debit card. So what they're doing is they're charging you an extra fee, and they're lying to you. Everywhere I went today, they wanted to charge me a fee. And when I questioned them about, okay, hold on. You can't charge a fee for using a debit card in the state of Indiana. The first thing she said was, we charge everybody for using a card. I said, hold on. Where's your manager? And she's like, hold on. And so the manager comes up, and I said, this is a debit card. I'm not paying a fee on a debit card. It is a direct transfer, and they don't charge you. And the guy looked at her and said, void the fee.
Yep, if you fight back, you can win because you have the truth on your side. So next time you're out and you use a debit card and they try to charge you a processing fee or a transaction fee, say no and do exactly what he did. It is not right. It is illegal. A debit card is the same thing as cash. Do not let them get away with it. All right, now let's get to the travel fees, because when you're on vacation, boy, do you get slammed with these. And when do you find out about it? At the end, when you check out of your hotel, when you're getting your rental car, right when you're signing the paper. I want to bring in Nick Ewan, Senior Editorial Director for The Points Guy, an amazing website that I use as a resource all the time. And Nick personally does some amazing reporting, so I wanted to have you on, Nick. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, Jeff.
Now that we're all fired up, I've been watching you in the preview monitor, like, yeah, this is nuts. Watching all these people. You've done a lot of reporting on hidden fees from hotels to rental cars to airlines, everything. Why don't we start with hotels? What have you found they're doing? What are some of the common tricks they're using now?
Well, I think one of the most common ones that we see are resort or destination fees. So you'll see these often during checkout. They typically are not very visible. A couple of large hotel companies have even been sued by some states for not adequately disclosing these. So those are some of the most common things, and you'll see them added at the end oftentimes, even if you're using your hotel points. Of course, we love our points here at The Points Guy. Sometimes you still have to pay those at checkout. So it's really critical when you're doing that search to look at exactly what you're seeing in that results page, so you know what is the room rate, what are the mandatory government taxes, but then also what portion of your bill is going to be those resort fees.
And you can go to, I've gone to some places where at the end it says like convention, like there's a local, convention arena fee. I mean, are they just allowed to do whatever they want?
So generally, any prices that you are going to be required to pay must be disclosed at when you're actually making the reservation. That's one of the reasons why I always suggest when you book a hotel room, save the confirmation email. That will break down everything that you are responsible for paying. And if you get your folio at the end and there's something on there that was not disclosed when you book it, show them that confirmation email, and oftentimes they will waive those fees, but sometimes they can sneak in if you're not really vigilant.
Oh, that's a great tip. So, because oftentimes we're like, this is a surprise fee, but they may have told you about it in the beginning. We just don't look at the confirmation emails.
Yeah, and one of the other things to note is that sometimes they will have fees that are built into a specific room package. I just had a hotel stay last weekend. I booked a package that included parking. It was charged to my bill because I valeted my car. Now, they waived it as soon as I pointed it out, but had I not looked, had I not paid attention, that would have been automatically charged. And another thing to keep in mind too is that a lot of travelers who are on the road frequently, they have status that includes things like free Wi-Fi, free enhanced Wi-Fi. If you see a resort fee that is advertised as, well, we're giving everyone free Wi-Fi, that's a point for you to say, hang on a second. I'm supposed to get free Wi-Fi because of my loyalty to you. I need to have this resort fee either waived or reduced because you cannot charge me for something I'm supposed to get as part of my elite status benefits.
That's a great tip as well. Wow, that's awesome. Let's talk about car rentals, because we'll get to the airlines in a minute, but car rentals. I just feel like we could spend an hour on this. I mean, on top of them trying to upsell us on the insurance and all that other stuff, what's happening over there with hidden fees? What are some of the common ones they're doing, and what can we do about it?
Yeah, so some of the most common ones are the fuel service charges where they try to claim you didn't bring it back full. That's one of the most important things to do is when you refill that tank. So first of all, never accept the fuel option. I know it's a pain to try to find a gas station near the airport, but fill up the tank on your own and save that gas receipt. They will oftentimes try to bill you for that by claiming that it's not full. And if you can say, nope, here's the time-stamped transaction. It was 4 minutes before I returned that rental car. You cannot charge me for gas. Tolls is another one. A lot of states have those tolls that you are forced to pay, and you'll have that little slider up at the top that you can engage and disengage. Sometimes you can pay with cash. Other times we actually travel with a portable SunPass. I'm based in Florida. That works on Easy Pass tolls up in the Northeast. We will travel with that, and then if we get billed a toll fee, I will download my SunPass activity and I will show them, no, I did not have that toll pass engaged. I charged it to my account. Because here's the trick. When you pull that thing to engage it, it seems convenient, it seems simple. You are not just being charged the tolls, you are also being charged a daily convenience fee, in some cases $5, $8, even $10 a day just for using that. So be aware, don't use that, pay in cash or bring your own toll transponder.
Wait, that's even news to me. So you're not only paying the toll, it's not a convenience thing, they're charging you some processing fee or like, hey, a convenience fee just to use it. So that's crazy.
Yep. And unfortunately, it's part of what they are offering. They will actually have that in those long rental service agreements that no one ever actually reads. So again, the best way to do this is to either bring your own or go through the cash lanes, or when you're navigating in Google Maps, set that option to avoid toll roads. Maybe you get to see a nice part of the area that you're visiting off of the highways, and then you can avoid some of those terrible fees.
And on top of that, they make mistakes. You just brought it up. It's happened to you. They make mistakes all the time, and they're charging you for tolls that you're like, I didn't use the toll thing.
Yeah, exactly. And again, saving that initial rental confirmation, but also looking at that receipt when it arrives in your inbox. Don't assume, this is right. Surely they're not going to overcharge me. You have to approach this with vigilance and make sure that there isn't anything on there that's unexpected.
All right, big headline from Nick. Do not use the toll thing from them. Keep that thing in the little pouch on the windshield. Keep it with the metal around it. Don't have it exposed. All right, let's talk about the airlines, because the airlines are notorious with this too.
Yeah, and thankfully they have gotten better with disclosing some of those fees up front, but especially on the low-cost airlines, and a lot of the major airlines now have their basic economy service. It's become really, really popular. All of those are going to have a ton of additional fees for check bags, for carry-on bags, for seat assignments. So again, when you are looking at the final or reviewing the different options, you want to look at exactly what is and is not included. Sometimes it's in nice small print, so it's not always easy to read. But the last thing that you want is to get to the airline or get to the check-in desk and be told that you have to pay to bring a carry-on bag on board the plane, because a lot of these basic economy tickets do not include that. That's one of the reasons I always recommend book directly with the airline too. If you are booking through a third-party site, whether it's your credit card company or whether it's a site like Expedia or Travelocity or Priceline. Yeah. Sometimes those fees are not always disclosed. You may not even know that you're booking a basic economy ticket because it's not always crystal clear. If you book directly with the airline and save that confirmation email, that can hopefully avoid some of those fees when you actually get to the airport. Quick note on seat assignments too. Oftentimes, airlines will sometimes try to sell every single one of their seats. I personally don't know how a window seat in the second to last row of the plane is considered a preferred seat that is worthy of an upcharge.
Next to the bathroom, right?
Yeah, right. Enjoy that seat. But if you are traveling and you're given the option, the only option is to pay for seats, don't select your seats. You'll be assigned one once you get to the airport. If you're traveling as a family, oftentimes it will be together. Airlines do typically hold back a lot of seat assignments, and many of them now have policies that guarantee that they will sit your family together. So if you are being forced into paying for a seat, just leave that option blank and then handle it when you get to the airport.
And one sneaky thing I've noticed, and you just touched on this, and I've noticed, I think I'm a Delta guy normally, and I've noticed, I think Delta lately, I've been booking what I think is main cabin, and it gives you a price. And I've kind of been looking on the other airlines too. I've been on Expedia, maybe Amex Travel, whatever. And then you actually go into it, and that's not really the price. They've quoted you basic, and you have all these additional fees, like you said, of the luggage, the carry-on, the seat. And so they're kind of masking main cabin even now. They're giving you a price, and you think it's main cabin, but it's not.
Yeah, and that's why it's really important, if you have the option, uncheck the box for basic economy. Oftentimes they'll have a drop down that'll say, I want to look at the cheapest fare, or I want to look at main cabin. Even Google Flights now has the ability, when you search for airfare, to exclude basic economy tickets. Oftentimes a regular economy ticket may only be $10 or $15 more, but with everything that you're going to get, it is absolutely worth that extra cost. I personally have never booked a basic economy fare, and I've been traveling for a very, very long time. So it's really important that you take advantage of those tools that are there, so you know exactly what you get and you don't accidentally book yourself into one of those really restrictive fares.
Yeah, and that's not you being bougie. You're just saying you don't buy basic economy because by the time you pay for all the hidden fees, it basically is the same as the main cabin ticket anyway, and it's a lot more hassle. You're not really saving anything.
Yeah, exactly. And even on an airline like Frontier, I've flown Frontier a number of times. I know they sometimes get a bad rap, but I really enjoy their service. I enjoy their low fares. They now have these bundles that include a number of options like seat assignments and carry-on bags. And in many cases, buying one of those bundles actually winds up being significantly cheaper than doing it all a la carte. So I know a lot of us don't like doing math. You got rid of that when you were done with middle school and high school, but sometimes you have to play the numbers game, crunch those numbers, do that math and say, you know what, it does make sense for me to get an economy bundle for this particular flight because it's going to include all the things that I need at a much lower price.
Right. They're banking on us saying, oh my God, that ticket's $199 versus everybody else that's $350. But really, you're going to pay $350 in the end, and it's going to be a pain in the ass the entire way. And so the airlines, this is what I always say, the airlines wouldn't be offering it if they didn't have some skin in the game to make money on it. They wouldn't be offering you the basic out of charity.
Yeah, exactly. One of the other things too with some of the low-cost airlines, a lot of them actually will impose check-in fees if you opt to not use the online check-in process. So checking in on your phone ahead of time is the most important thing that you can do. Download that airline app. Beyond just then being notified of any flight delays or cancellations, you can often avoid some of those fees for actually checking in at the airport, because sometimes you will see that as something that's a part of it. And again, you gotta read that fine print. You gotta know exactly what is and is not included when you book that flight, especially for someone who is an infrequent traveler.
Nick Ewan, Senior Editorial Director of The Points Guy. Thank you so much for being here, Nick. Such great. You've changed the way I'm going to travel, too. I thought I knew a lot, but you know more. I really appreciate you being here.
Well, thanks for having me on, Jeff. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Me too. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. And speaking of travel, there's some news with Real ID I want to tell you about quick. Many of you have Real ID already. I don't have my wallet on me, not that I want to show you my license number and everything, but it's got a little star in the corner. You need the Real ID to travel now, or else you need a passport. But on your driver's license, you need a Real ID. If you don't have one, starting in February 2026, they're going to charge you $45 to travel. You have to pay the TSA up front. And once you pay that, they'll let you get on the plane and you can travel. But then it's only good for 10 days. So if you're coming back within 10 days from your trip, sure, you can just pay the $45. But they've just come out and said, hey, if you're staying somewhere longer than 10 days, you have to pay a second $45 to be able to come home. So I just wanted to tell you about that real quick. Get a Real ID. You have to make an appointment with your local DMV. You need proof of a social security number, your address, and your picture ID. Make an appointment with your DMV. Get a Real ID. It's going to save you money in the long run. You're going to have to get it anyway. So do it right now, because starting in February, they're going to charge you if you don't have it. And before we get to our live product test, and you know we love our product test, this is the, what is this called again? The Snap and Strain. You stick this on the edge of your pot, and it acts like a strainer. So we're going to see if this thing works. God, look how, my God, what happens to these pots? Look at that. That's disgusting. Ugh. I mean, do you know how much this was? I thought I was doing myself a favor, and I'm going to treat myself with, and then it just gets all dinged up and crappy. Anyway, don't spend money on pots and pans. That's just saved you more money. Congratulations. So before we get to that, and we're going to test it out live, I want to talk about real estate for a minute because so many of you are trying to buy homes or maybe sell your home, and there is a glut. There is a real problem going on because the mortgage rates are still so high. So what's happening is a lot of people, and there are two huge there's a game changer I want to tell you about in the mortgage world that could end up saving you tens of thousands of dollars and lower home prices. And we're going to get to our expert on this in just a second. So what's happening is the mortgage rates are so high that people aren't putting their homes on the market because you're in your house and you're saying, yeah, I'm ready for a new house, but I have a really good rate. I bought the house 10 years ago. I bought the house 5 years ago, whatever it is, 20 years ago. And my rate's like 3%. But if I buy a new house, yeah, I have the money to do it. And for the down payment and everything in the mortgage, but the interest rates are like 6%, 5.5%, 6, 7%. Why would I do that? So people are staying put. They're not putting their houses on the market. And what happens then? Supply drops. And when supply drops and demand is still here, the prices go up. That's why home prices are so expensive right now, because there's not enough houses on the market. But now there are two possible new mortgage options being considered that could change the game, whether you want to sell your house or you want to buy one. Let's roll this, because I want to, how bad the problem has become. I forgot about this. This is really fascinating. Look how bad the issue has become. Roll clip number 8.
So when a seller takes their home off the market, it's called a delisting, and those are now happening at an unusually high rate. Delistings in October, which are reported with a 1-month lag, were up 45.5% year to date and up nearly 38% from October of last year. That's according to a new report from Realtor.com. Now, this is the highest delisting year since they began tracking this in 2022. Delistings began to rise in June and have remained elevated for 5 straight months. So about 6% of active listings have been coming off the market each month. That's usually only seen in the dead of winter. Now, why is this happening? Well, uncertainty in the economy, stagnant and high mortgage rates, and of course, a still pricey housing market. Miami, Denver, and Houston are seeing the highest ratio of delistings compared with new listings. Those are also markets that saw some of the biggest price gains in recent years. In addition, and of course because of that, more potential buyers are heading to what Realtor.com calls refuge markets. That means they're more affordable. Grand Rapids, Michigan, St. Louis, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh, they're all seeing much bigger price gains now than the rest of the country because demand there is suddenly surging. These are markets that did not see the big gains during the last 5 years that much of the nation did. Now, inventory had been building up until now, but this is going to cut into that growth. If inventory drops, then prices, which had been weakening a little bit, would start to strengthen again, because it's all about that supply and demand imbalance. Really, what's going to unlock a much healthier housing market is lower interest rates in addition to new supply. But those two together, that's been hard to come by.
Except maybe now with these new mortgage options that are being considered. Let's bring in Mark Victor, a top real estate agent from the agency in Los Angeles. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I've been writing notes the entire show about these hidden fees. I'm blown away about that. Insane. I can't believe that.
Crazy. So we saved you money, and now you're going to repay the favor and save us some money. And tell us, there are 2 different kinds of mortgages that you brought to me. You and I are longtime friends, by the way. I love Mark. Yeah. He is amazing at what he does and moves some serious sales out in the Los Angeles area. So you came to me, and you're on top of all this, portable mortgages and assumable mortgages. Let's start with the portable mortgages first. Tell us what that is and how it can help us.
Yeah, these 2 new developments could be a total game changer for the market. So I'm really, really excited about this if it happens, which it looks like, they're definitely working on it right now. So the portable mortgages, Jeff Rossen wants to buy a house, and you're currently in your house and you're paying 2%, which is an unbelievable rate. It's like free money. And you're like, you know what? We want to go to a bigger house. We have more kids. And we want the space, but you're gonna then go into like a 6 or 7% mortgage rate, which is going to cost you so much more. So a portable mortgage rate would be you take your 2% loan and you move it over to the new house, which would save you so much money.
Wow. So it's portable. I'm moving it from here over to here. So I can take my current loan of 2% and move it into so you basically stay with the same bank or something and just move the loan. It's just a new address on the same loan.
Exactly. Exactly. And then there's one called the assumable mortgage. So the assumable mortgage is like, all right, Jeff Rosson's going to look to buy a house, and you're a home buyer, you're looking to buy a house, and you find out, from the real estate agent that homeowner has a 2% mortgage rate. You could jump right into and take over their mortgage rate, which would be incredible. I mean, this would open up the market. This would change everything. This would help with affordability. This would help with so many different things that people are having issues with. Wow. And right now, it doesn't look like the rates are really going down. So these two options would be a total game changer.
And this would kickstart everything, right? Because more homes would come on the market, which means prices would come down.
Correct. There'd be more homes on the market, and prices would definitely come down by using assumable or portable mortgages. It's a great option. And we're really excited about this. And if this could be happening soon, they're going to pilot these programs and see if they work and what they can do to make it happen. But I really believe this would be a game changer.
So this is kind of winding its way through regulation and figuring out if this is going to be allowed. So, but you sound optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, assumable mortgages are already happening on like certain loans. For veterans. So we're seeing some of that, but assumable mortgages for conventional loans would be a total game changer, as well as portable mortgages. Yeah, wow. And this is a great option that I think would really open up the market. And the biggest thing, as we know, is to save the consumer money. And right now, home prices are way, way too expensive. And when you put your mortgage rate on there, and it could be 6 or 7%, it just isn't affordable, and it's not
doable.
Fair.
Yeah. All right, it's awesome. Mark, thank you. You'll come back and you'll keep us posted on this, right? Because I know you're watching this very closely.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and congrats on the show. It's so great.
Thank you very much. Mark Victor from the agency, crushing it out in LA. And Mark, you want to stick around for a minute? We're about to do our live product test.
I'm in.
All right. I love it. So we always end every show, Mark, you're new to the show. We end every show with a live product test. We try it before you buy it. I spend my own money on a product that's going viral, that everyone's talking about, to see if it actually works. Some of them work, some of them don't work. And if it works, I want to let you know, because I always get the comments, how do I get this thing? I have it in my Amazon store. I have a link in the video description. Click on that, or I'm going to put it in the comments too. Just click on that, and it's right there for you to get. So let's talk about this. This is the Snap and Strain. Oh, Madison and Aaron, my producers, are joining us too, Mark. So it's a foursome here. What's going on, guys? All right, you ready? This is pretty cool. When I saw this on TikTok, yeah.
The name, we were talking in the production meeting before the show. The name is, if there's any Legally Blonde fans, the Bend and Snap. This is the Snap and Strain.
Yeah, very nice.
You've
been practicing that. I noticed it had like a little choreography.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you for bringing that to us. I appreciate it. All right, wait, Sam, let's roll that video. This is the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to replace a strainer. So you put it over this. Yeah, you put it over the side of your pot. I think they'll show it in a second. Yep, you put it like that.
Easy.
You clip it on. Easy to adjust.
Snap.
You're boiling your water, and boom!
Strain.
That's how it's supposed to work. What do you think, Mark?
I love it. I mean, when I was talking about the mortgage rates, it was a game changer, but like this looks like a game changer in the kitchen.
I love it. So it's a pretty good price. It's $14.99 on Amazon. This is it right here. And like I said, it is supposed to replace the strainer. It's replace. See, look, this is a very high-end production here. I have the Snap and Strain. It replaces this. And so here's what I did. Just before the show, I made pasta, right? I made pasta in here. Can you see that? And I'm going to get a bowl here, and we're going to see if this thing works. So let me first show you what happens. So right over here, you see these little clips? There are little clips on this thing like that, right? And you clip it onto the side of the pot, okay?
Yeah.
Like that. So we're clipped. You see we're clipped here and we're clipped here. You got that? Okay.
Oh.
So now it's got this kind of mesh thing, and I'm going to pour this into this bowl, and we're going to see if this works. You ready to go?
Is that thing supposed to be?
Oh,
Oh,
Fail.
worried about.
Guys, it was clipped. You saw it clipped.
I think
you saw it clipped.
We had a comment from a viewer that said their complaint is you have to clip it just right. One of our viewers said, like, if you don't clip it just perfectly, then it doesn't stay.
It was clipped. I'm telling you right now, this thing was clipped on hard.
I believe
it doesn't work.
Again.
Fail.
Hold
on. My wife's calling. Hold on. She's on the bat phone. She's the only one allowed through. Danielle, you're live on the air. What's up? You're watching the show.
So, yes. So there was a piece of the clip and strain that you're supposed to tuck in that you did not have tucked in. So I really think it needs to have a second chance and you try again.
What do you mean?
There was a piece in front that you did not have tucked into the pin.
Yeah, it's there now.
Oh no, you're saying it was tucked.
You need to redo it again. I think that should count. I think you should clip it in, tuck it in, and restrain.
It's supposed to be tucked. Wait, Sam, play that video again. I just want to make sure because I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Play that video again, Sam. Hold on, Danielle.
Play it again, Sam.
See, this is now a marital fight. This is actually now a full marital issue.
I wouldn't call it a fight. I'm just trying to teach you how to do it.
No, I'm calling it a fight. I know you're not. I am.
Know what they're getting.
All right, hold on. The thing was out. It's not supposed to be tucked in. Wait, was mine out or tucked in?
Yours was
wow.
Yes. I was right and you're wrong, right?
I just felt like it was your fault. It couldn't possibly be the product that wasn't working.
Yeah, typical. So I just want to be clear. I did it correctly.
You did do it
You did it as the video
I see some comments saying that you didn't maybe clip the clips on securely enough.
Why am I always wrong?
We should redo it. I understand that's difficult because of our setup. So
No, I'll redo it.
we'll try again.
No, hold on. I'm going to try it one more time.
All right, you do that. Good luck.
I'm going to try it one more time.
Also,
Let's do
by
this
the
one more
way,
time.
in our pre-show call, we were wondering how the logistics of this was going to work.
It's
and we
upside
all
down.
agreed it's fine. Danielle will take care
No,
of it.
Jeff. It's upside down.
Yeah. Oh, now it is. I did it the right way the first time. No, it's not. The clips have to go on like this.
Yeah.
They go on like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's how I had it.
Okay.
Should we try it? I believe that's how I had it. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to get another shot. You ready? It's reclipped on. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Snap. Let's strain. Oh, much better.
That time it worked. We need a tiebreaker.
Okay.
We're going one more time. Tiebreaker. Hold on. Tiebreaker. Here we go. I'm clipping it on one more time.
Strained, dude.
Can you see me I'm clipping it. It's clipped. You see it? We're good? We're clipped.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go. One more time.
We're snapped. And now
I just don't like the risk of all the noodles still kind of coming out. Like even a little.
Let's see what happens with that. Let me test this thing to the. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much upside down and it's holding the noodles back.
That's better. So it takes.
Yeah, that is good. Wow.
Huh.
So what do we think? Did I do it wrong the first time? I don't know. All right. Maybe it works. It's $14.99 on Amazon. So there you have it. What do you guys think? Does it work or not?
And does it?
Let's put it in the. It's worth a shot. I mean, if it worked like 2 out of 3 times, that's good enough for me.
Okay. Boy, I like those odds. So give a thumbs up or a thumbs down real quick. Vote. I'm going to say yes.
Thumbs up all the way.
Thumbs up, thumbs down for Aaron. All right. 3 out of 4 say it works. $14.99 on Amazon. Tell you what, if you've seen it, if you want it, buy it. If it doesn't work for you, just return it. There you have it. Aaron, Madison, thank you so much. Mark Victor from the agency in LA, thank you so much as well. I appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Yep, take care.
Hope we saved you some money today, and we will see you next time. Have a great